Team America. That's it. Oh, no, not the YouTube. I want a script. Because I can do it from memory, I think, if you just script. See, there are three kinds of people: dicks, pussies, and assholes. Pussies think everyone can get along, and dicks just want to fuck all the time without thinking it through. But then you got your assholes, and all the assholes want to do is shit all over everything. So pussies may get mad at dicks once in a while because pussies get fucked by dicks. But dicks also fuck assholes. And if they didn't fuck assholes, you know what you get? You get your dick and your pussy all covered in shit. That's pretty good. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. All right, good morning, everybody. That's what we should open up with, the Team America speech every goddamn morning. That would be great. Or something from Boiler Room. That'd be cool. A script reading. Can they cut off my stream for that? I don't think so. You never heard that, Carl? Oh, isn't that hilarious? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got to watch Team America, my friend. I've seen it a couple times. That's pretty funny. All right, let's continue our analysis, and we only have like 5 minutes left, so let's get on top of it. VORB is the next one. VORB bought up, and oh, it's only gapping up a tiny bit. I have a nothing going on VORB. Suppose I'm inclined to say it could continue. So I would say we're bullish on VORB. Haven't decided on AMC yet. We're going to look at AMC right now. AMC gap analysis. Is bullish. It's bullish, but as we were talking about before, it basically just puts it back where it was. So it may just go sideways. All right, let's check out Octo. Octo is just gapping up a little bit into a prior gap. Was a stock split. I'm not sure if it was, stock split yesterday or the day before yesterday. That may or may not have caused the stock to move the way it did. Buy the rumor, sell the news. When it finally split, everybody wanted out. The hype didn't happen, and people lost 50% of their money. It was at $4, adjusted terms, back to, and it hit $2 once the split happened. So people got fucked trying to play the split on that one, on Octo. Anyway, though, it seems to have regained some value this morning, and maybe it's going to continue. This would be a bullish gap up on Octo. What do we say on AMC? Okay, Octo and MCOM to look at. MCOM is only gapping up slightly. It's only really gapping up slightly. Potentially a negligible change. You could say it's slightly bullish. Maybe I'll put in the bottom left to just say it's. So that's what we got this morning on the market for momentum, everybody. And the other thing is to go look at the market itself. Well, as I mentioned before, we were very exhausted after a 2 or 3 weeks bullish run breakout, which really had a lot of extra energy for its final push week. Do you remember? It showed topping action even when we were in it at the top. And so it felt to me, anything was possible. It felt to me that that was the top and we were going to start pulling back. I let you guys know that a couple days ago. And that is, in fact, what has happened over the last 2 days. And that's where we're sitting now. We are now sitting at the low of yesterday. And we could easily retrace up to yesterday's close and even in to yesterday's body some. Plenty, really. And we could even end a green day today, and it would still be bearish progress. It would be a lower high, which is the most important part of the bearish progress. The wedge, but you're still descending in price. So, but from a liquidity perspective, let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at it that way. Also, oil did something funny last night. I tried to play it, but didn't really do anything after that. But oil dropped a smidge. It's back to about 80.50 now, oil. Gold also sold off this morning a bit. Minute until the market opens. So let's just get a quick liquidity grab looking outlook on this. We could easily go up to grab some liquidity into yesterday's body. About a third of the way up into yesterday's body candle, and then go red all the rest of the day. That's probably what we'll do. Otherwise, we'll do the inverse of that. But in the end, the day will end up bearish on the day. We got 20 seconds before they open. The best looking prospect is probably YVR, but nothing super great. But these ones on the right here are all bullish to varying degrees. So let's keep an eye. They start to run green at the open. Grab them. Here we go. 3 seconds to the open. Everyone's saying tell, Tell, so I better double check that. Yeah, it's up a little bit. Tellurian, okay, it's up a little bit, but it's selling off now. It's very minor pop. Maybe it'll run. I mean, you guys seem excited about it. Okay, YVR is starting to go green at the open, so that could be the entry. Green bullish outlook on YVR. That was our basically number one pick outside of AMC. Maybe flattening out of Activision, ATVI this morning. If it doesn't pick up. What about IFRX? Yeah, I'm not watching it, but that was a trade that we're done with already. Selling off now. Keeping an eye on some of our other holdings. Aren't we in? I think we're in something else. United Health doing absolutely great. Wow, what a great relative strength move from United Health. We got in yesterday. Okay, no, I'm not even in anything in my. I'll let United Health run the open. We'll see what happens there. Activision acting quite weak at the open. I believe I'm going to flatten out if it doesn't turn around right away. This is in the Activision trade with me. ATVI is Activision. YVR with a real battle. The bid-ask spread is a bit wide. Your stop would be something like 25 cents. 5-cent point. Activision actually is slightly picking up right now. And let's take a look at the market as well. Alert. Market's bleeding out. So it's pretty astonishing that our three picks from yesterday, Wells Fargo, United Health, and Activision, are all going up and the market's dropping like a ton of bricks, and here we are in the right stocks. While it's dropping like a ton of bricks, I'm going to take 25% profits across the board. There goes YVR. YVR is working out. YVR. AMC is picking up as well. Bit of a dip buy happened on AMC. Look at that. The left side, just look at that. Look how we had that organized, right? And the left side of my columns, everything's bleeding out. The right side, everything's going up. I got to refresh that for the people in TikTok because they don't see that. But we nailed it's like you can see in live time the correct gap analysis playing out. Is that beautiful or what? What? Shut up. Wells Fargo is kind of hanging in there at the open, so I'm also going to take a little off of Wells Fargo, but United Health is remaining quite strong. Okay, VORB is running. YVR is struggling. VORB, VORB, going green at the open. That's running. Octo, it's kind of failing out now. Fading. But we do have VORB activating. It's over VWAP now. And YVR is, at VWAP. So at the moment, 5 cents, it's not an emergency. Am I using Ikemoku? No. Ikemoku does have a place in trading though. But it's best for trend following. It'd be good in a bull or bear specific market. Right now we're in a chop market. Energy really selling off the most today. Meanwhile, staples, consumer staples, XLP as a sector ETF, consumer staples running. So this is more rotation. It's just once you understand, it all, it just makes total sense. It's nothing surprising. We're at the top of a run. Smart money wants to take their profits now. And where are they going to put that? They don't want to put it necessarily in cash. They want to be limber and ready to go. So it's either gold, and gold is going up. And it's either consumer staples, and staples are going up hot. It's either healthcare, and healthcare is going up, XLV. And what am I missing? Staples, or it's value stocks, and value is also doing well. Not as well as healthcare, and utilities, and consumer staples, but it is. Well, United Health, UNH, doing great. Who's in UNH with me? VORB going, it's almost hitting 25 cents almost now, coming from 20 cents off the open. I think that's about a 30% increase. I'm doing my math wrong in my head, I think. 25%. Well, from the open, though. 25%. Okay, I was really close, actually. Thank God. I don't have Alzheimer's yet. Knock on particle board. Just wanted to say thanks again. Small purchase, quick sale, profited $50 on YVR. Yeah, very welcome, man. And don't forget to come join the community over here. Click the link in my bio. Jumping rope, how are you doing? Put their money into Clove. Is that what you're hot on right now? Is that what you're horny about? VOR broke 25 cents. It's at 25.3 cents now. Wells Fargo is holding but not running. United Health is running. The financial sector itself is bleeding off. So I'm going to take another portion off of Wells Fargo since it's just kind of not performing this morning. But the thing is, once the market finds its bottom and then either goes sideways, a stock with great relative strength like that that's just holding might suddenly find some lift. But we need to not get dragged down too heavily by the market. Morning, Bobby. Welcome to the program.
Alert.
Yeah, VORB is definitely happening. YVR is basically not happening. It's just sitting there. AMC is fighting a fight from 430 to 470. I mean, it's just whiplash syndrome. OCTO just reclaimed a level that it dropped, and so that's an entry on Octo, reclamation entry right underneath VWAP, a nice area to have some kind of a signal of any kind. That's good stuff. De-risking a little on Activision, which is, hasn't really been very strong since we got in yesterday. I am slightly above break even. Not ready to just dump all yet, so we'll see. I'm out 20% on the Activision position. I don't necessarily need to guess. Who said that? Alex. Hi. I don't necessarily need to guess on Octo if it's going to go up. It's got, you got to take the risk. Does it look worth the risk? And you have to say, okay, I'm willing to lose some money on that. And when you lose money, you have to go, yeah. And if that's not how you feel, then don't get in, because you have to be okay with losing money. Taking a risk is no bullshit. Yeah. I mean, we're bullish on it slightly. We didn't expect much. We did a little pre-gap analysis on it, and maybe. So far, it doesn't look like it. So far, a lot is going on VORB. It's now hitting 26 cents, so that probably brings it up to almost a 30% gain off the open. Randy, are you taking partial exits? How you working your position? Where are you at? How much out are you on VORB? Yeah. Randy's up 20% on VORB entry and 60% out. Way to go. Nice and aggressive. And you want to be nearing all out or at least half out when we're nearing that pre-market high like that. It depends on the setup, but in my opinion, that's a nice stretch to the pre-market high. Sometimes it's not. It's so close that it pops it, and you wouldn't want to be 50% out. So there's an exception, and it depends on everything. But on that case, VORB there, I think taking out a lot by the pre-market highs area would be a good decision. Octo is still fading, Bobby or Alex. About natural gas futures, you accidentally took a $12,000 position. Right now, you're 4% up. No stop loss yet. Let me tell you what, 4% up is good. And once it slows down, it stops and starts reversing, just take it. Again, another day. Don't look for big gains, people. Big gains are higher risk. Okay? Just hit singles all day. Bunt. You can hit singles much easier. And so, don't make it difficult. And we even have a class about that called how compounding beats moonshots. And we did the math, presented that. If you're interested in checking that out, you go to marketmastery.teachable.com, or you can just go to the link in my bio. And then when you get to where that takes you, you want to look up Market Mastery application section or Learn to Trade. Anacady. You can come join the group for a week for free. Check it out and see what kind of value it is to you. And I would then say, then ascertain, it's almost like don't even find out, how much it costs. Like you're asking how much does it cost to be part of the group? And I think that's great because you obviously see value already. I'm saying, let me surprise you. Come take a free trial. It's 7 days. And see if it did, in fact, give you some value. And then say to yourself, man, this was very valuable or medium value or low value, or I would pay, $5 for this, or I would pay $200 for this. And I think you're going to be surprised when you find out how much our group really is for an entire month. It's pretty impressive. It's a great value. But that, why don't you go judge that for yourself? Click the link in my bio and come on over and get a 7-day free trial started and join everyone else. And let's see what we can do for you. You're ready, then give it a try. Yeah, thanks, Carl. Good job, RJ. No big gains for Daniel. Daniel, you are Mantis, right? Or if I got that mixed up. Okay, yeah. Hey, Daniel. Do you have a praying mantis, or do you have some kind of a praying mantis story? Like, I just like, what was that movie called? Was the Fighting Panda? I don't know. I can't think of that right now. Kung Fu Panda. It's from high school, and he was in karate. Nice. Man, that's cool. They had karate at your high school. Damn. I mean, high school served my purpose, like music. I was in all the music classes, but I wish I had some cool class, like fucking robotics or something. Eh. Didn't matter though. A lot of winners came out of San Clemente High School. That's where I went. A lot of winners, including my classmate, Ryan Johnson, director of Star Wars 7 and 8. You might have heard of him. Screenwriter of the following three, 7, 8, and 9. Knives Out. A bunch of movies. Maybe you've heard of him. And Jorge, what's his name? Jorge Garcia, another one of my classmates from Lost. Hurley from Lost. In high school, classmate. And me. You might have heard of him. Oh, right. Anna. Oh, you are. Great. Okay. So far, you love them? Oh, great. Thanks, Anna. Okay. Well, you're already kind of in my ecosystem, so you're going to learning about all that. And I look forward to learning more about you as well. Hurley. Because does anybody remember the numbers from Lost? Is anybody that? Don't look it up. Is anybody out there that big of a fan? I don't remember. I roughly do. If you said them, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's exactly it. And if you haven't seen Lost, if anyone's out there and they haven't seen Lost, it's tied for the best TV show of all time. It's at least tied. People have different opinions. Oh, I like Breaking Bad better. Oh, I like this whatever. No, it's you. If you really critically look at all of those, it's at least at minimum tied. My personal preference is I think it's the best TV series ever made. I think definitively you cannot argue with the fact that it's at least as good as the greatest TV show of all time. Charlie from Drive Shaft. I remember that too. Yeah. And then he was in Lord of the Rings as a little hobbit. So Vorb, most of the things on the market right now are just kind of hanging in there. That's why there hasn't been a lot of market talk, and we're just chit chatting. I'm watching Wells Fargo appreciate a tiny bit. I think I'm going to take out another smidge right there. Although no, I'm going to hang on for a sec because the financial sector is turning around. It's at about a 50% retrace off of the drop at the open, while Wells Fargo is actually going up slightly, a smidge. So that's a lot of relative strength still. Hang in there on that. But at United Health, I'm probably going to take profits completely on in a moment here. And Activision is starting to turn up just slightly, but there could be a big seller comes in and just takes advantage of that before I even get to it. See you in another life, brother. Yeah. See you in another life, brother. Oh man, God, you bringing back the memories. So good. Alert. Seco is halted. We're gonna check it out right now. Seco Psycho Stock. Let's go. Fuck me. Holy Toledo. Am I able to say in the goat ass? Okay, I just did. Seco. Wow. Let's refresh this over here so you guys get a look at this. Seco is halted. Went from 80 cents ish to $1.20. That's about a 50% gain in the halt on Seco. Fuck me in the goat ass. Holy Toledo. Technical term. Goat ass halt up. Yes. Man, I don't want to take all my profits on United Health, but I did well on it. I would love for it to make a little more progress. It's been so strong, and I know smart money's wanting to get into it, but maybe it's bought up too much. Let's go take a quick look on the daily. Yeah, it's run too far. Realistically, it could get up another 5 points. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm just going to take my profits. So. GFI, what do you mean buy? Going up or down? Okay, up. Meanwhile, AI is not really doing the same. But okay, GFAI, guys. It could be flying. GFAI, let's take that and put that over Octo. We don't need to watch that anymore. All right. Yeah. It's quite a bit of fight around this $12 level, but it's moving, you guys. GFI. Shit or get off the pot. I am the face of the modern live stream stock trader. You get fucked in the goat ass, and you either shit or get off the pot. I mean, this is where we are. All right, all right. I'm gonna liquidate my United Health. I'm so close to not. I'm just gonna watch the time and sales for a second. Yeah, there's a negative print. Do it. All right, fine. Flatten. Not like it's flying or anything. I had hope. Well, hope is not a strategy, they say. Okay, GFI hitting 13 after a $12 breakout consolidation flag entry. GFI, GFAI, hitting 13 now off of a $12 breakout. That's where you probably ought to have gotten it. Seco, you cannot get in. It's already flying. We need some. You could risk it at $12 with a stop at 10.75. That came and went. Hopefully that played it though. Okay, Activision starting to sell off. I'm flattening Activision. Boom. I'm not taking any chances. I'm already profitable, so why mess with it? I'm not sure what the old man was beating the shit. Oh yes, Adam Sandler. Oh, the grass feels so good on my hooves. That's true. They're all gonna laugh at me. Was the name of his first album. And does anyone know what that's from? They're all gonna laugh at me. They're all gonna laugh at you. I think it's they're all gonna laugh at you. What's that from? Anybody know? You'd have to be kind of a cinemaphile to get that one. Ben says Billy Madison. No, I mean the origin of they're all gonna laugh at you. Because they're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you like that. But where did it come from? It came from somewhere. Carl might know. All right, I'm out of Activision. I'm out of United Health. And I'm flattening more. MOR, that didn't do anything. I actually should have flattened that earlier. I didn't even look at it. Wasn't an emergency level or anything, but there goes Wells Fargo. So I took out 30% profits all along the open there for the last 20 minutes on Wells Fargo. But the market has found bottom. So interesting, right? The market has found bottom while while the market was dropping, Wells Fargo went sideways. Now that the market has found bottom and is going sideways, Wells Fargo's going up. That's relative strength. It's like walking on a people mover, like a treadmill kind of thing. You're walking on it's going this way, you walking on it, you're not making any progress. All of a sudden the people mover stops, boom, now you're starting to thrust forward. It's probably a decent analogy for relative strength. I'm going to take a little more profit once we get near pre-market highs, which was exactly where I sold my first chunk at 37.45. We're at 37.36 right now on Wells Fargo. We are consolidating in this territory around in the 13s on GFAI. Meanwhile, Vorb has done a failed retest neckline break. I think maybe the neckline hasn't broken yet. No, I mean, it's quite negligible, but it just doesn't look great. If you need the money to trade somewhere else and you're not under PTD, take it. AMC with a nice zigzag up and over WAP. Zigzag is the technical term. No, it's not. It's a trend on the 1 minute, an uptrend over VWAP since the open, AMC. If it'll go more from here, remains to be seen, but it did uptrend. So the sentiment is there and it's confirmed. It's a 4-point uptrend over VWAP and it's pulling back now. So, you're able to get in a little bit out of the pullback, and especially if you can check the 1 minute chart and look for a green over red candle, that could be a good in. You would want to risk to the most recent low. I think that was at 942 for your sizing. I mean, maybe. I don't know, jumping rope. I just trade charts. I do trade fundamentals too, but the chart has to have the pattern. It has to be there on the chart. So that may be the case. Carry, you got it. Yeah, that's it. You looked it up. You looked at it. It took so long. Carrie, yeah. Carrie's mother would tell her, that they're all going to laugh at her. That, she's constantly humiliating her. That movie, the original, Carrie by Brian De Palma, is heartbreakingly sad, actually, with this mixture of, what do they call it? Telekinesis over the whole thing as a superpower. But in general, it's really sad. It's actually really hard for me to watch again. I can't. It's really hard. There's only a couple movies I can't really watch again because they're just so excruciatingly what is the word when you're unkind, maliciously unkind. Anyway, but like Life is Beautiful is one of them. Life is Beautiful. And Carrie. Those are two movies I have a real problem with going back and watching again. But I'll tell you what I don't have a problem with, and I need to put on the TV in a little bit, is Maverick. It's out on Prime, on Amazon. You can watch it for free as part of Prime. I do not get a kickback from Amazon, nor do I give a shit. But I do give a shit about the fact that Maverick is available on Prime. I'm going to put that on the TV today and at least watch the opening 10 minutes. The opening 10 minutes is worth the price of admission right there. And then it's a great fucking movie. And then the last 10 minutes, Jesus, and everything in between. Good God, was that a great movie? I don't care what the Oscars say. That and probably Avatar 2, although very popcorny and, kind of corny, but those were probably the best movies of last year. There was probably some movie. Oh, another one that I saw was the one with Brendan Fraser. Forget what it was called, but that one was good, but from a artistic standpoint, like filmmakers critiquing. I mean, if you watched French cinema, if you really know your cinema, kind of pretentious, a little bit nothing special. The ending, especially. But all in all, great movie, great movie. And how can I say anything bad about it compared to Maverick, which is in no way, anything other than a nice Hollywood popcorn movie. But yeah, The Whale, yeah, not quite as great artistically as people would lead you to believe. Like, I mean, like when Brokeback Mountain came out, everyone was like, "Oh my God, Brokeback Mountain! It's like, geez, whoa, this is really, we've never seen movies like this before." Yeah, we have. Like, it's was done like 30 years before in French cinema. Like, this Brokeback Mountain was the most unoriginal piece of shit there was out there at that time. But people were like, "Oh my God, this is like, we've got to give it Academy Awards. This is, yeah, maybe for Americans." But cinema is so more far progressed than beyond what the kind of movies that America puts out. Way, America is about 50 years behind the progress of actual cinema. So much hype. Wait, for which one, Daniel? The Whale? I mean, it was good. Everything Everywhere All at Once, it was fantastic. Yeah, that was super good. I just felt like it was a little bit vulgar, you know, tasteless, and that's fine. Again, it was good on an Avatar Maverick fun movie going experience level. It is amazing that the Academy gave it all the awards that it did. All right, I'm taking out another 10% on Wells Fargo right here because it did start to hit the high of the day, and boom, I got an instant fill. So they're looking for liquidity. Buyers, there's buying demand is there. So I'm just going to let it sit and let other people give theirs to the buyers and let it increase the price. The market is actually pushing up now, so we might see some extra lift from in the financial sector, which we're in there. GFI, by the way, still fighting that $13 level, I believe. Let me go take a look. Yeah, it's at 1270. Yeah, no, I did not, Bobby. That's funny. I still win the Oscar every year. Yeah, even if. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely. Jump rope for the whale. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Seco is now showing that it wants to try to a second run of it. So it's either going to work or not work, and you're either going to regret not getting in because it did work, because this would be the spot to get in, or you're going to tell yourself, "Man, I'm glad I didn't get in because it's going to fail out." But you have to get in the ring, otherwise you can't win. So if you do, you want to risk size your risk side of the trade down to the most recent pivot low that just happened a few minutes ago. And you can learn about how to do that in my market mastery course. Percent rule. The class on 1% rule. Zach, I mean, I'm not recommending anything in particular today. Just was buying in Wells Fargo from yesterday. So I can't recommend it because I would have to tell you to go back in time and get it yesterday. And you wouldn't have known it. I mean, the Wells Fargo chart was a very clever entrance. Hey, looking at this Wells Fargo chart in the daily, chart here. At the Wells Fargo chart yesterday, looking like this. We take today off. Does not look particularly like a signal. This was a very advanced entry. It's layering theories on top of theories. So, it's beyond some of the stuff that it's putting it all together. You had to make a judgment based on everything you knew. And so that's cool. We got in yesterday at like 36.80. It's now at 37.40. And for Wells Fargo, that's great. And the financial sector is running. And so, it's not a lot percentage wise, but because the risk was so small, it's a lot money wise. Our risk unit, the 1R, was so small that we're up good. Because I'm up 1.5R on Wells Fargo. That's great. If I can squeeze out 2R on it, I'll be very happy. If I get 3R on it, it'd be extraordinary. But as you can, yeah, it popped up today. That was what was expected. That alert went out in our group yesterday at the close. We always do closing power hour alerts overnights. It's a great way for people with smaller accounts to trade because you don't have the ability to day trade when you have under $25,000 account. And so that way you can get in a position, some risk, and the next morning, hopefully it went your way and you can take profits within the first 30 minutes of the market. Like right now could be the top of the market, but actually the market bottomed already and is now coming up and is fully retraced. And it's probably going to go into the middle of yesterday's body. We talked about that earlier. It's gonna push into the wicks a little bit. Let's take a look at the financial sector. We might get up, to 32 on the ETF XLF. And right now we're 31.85. So another just tiny little smidge to go before I probably get all out on Wells Fargo. I probably will close out around 1.5R on that trade. Minimums 25 minimums? No. Well, not really. Even at like, for instance, you could get a Webull account. Webull, Webull. I one time told people, you could get an account at Webull, and they wrote me a message and said I couldn't find Webull, and they looked at the Weevil, the little fucking beetle, they looked at the Weevil banking. That would be funny. No, Webull, Webull, and over there you can have any amount. And Cash App allows you to do some investing. Obviously there's Robinhood, and but we tend not to like Robinhood, but it works. It's probably a little dangerous of a place to be. Robinhood, Webull, Cash App, those are the simpler ones for maybe less active persons, and you've got a little bit of savings and you want to do something with it. Again, this program, not financial advice, educational purposes only. I definitely got to say that. Evan told me to put all my money in United Health and the fucker tanked. Yeah, but you put the money in there. I am not signed legally as your financial advisor, so you did it. I just want you to be aware. I mean, I don't have to tell you, but you need to be aware that your mistakes are your responsibility. Your risks are your responsibility, not mine. I didn't put my hand on your mouse. You never gave me permission to trade your money. You did it. So anyway, we're all about risk education. Trading group. I think a lot of people will concur. A lot of members will probably concur with that with me. Tell, before I continue on that, TELL is starting to zoom up. It's well over VWAP, and you need to watch it for consolidation now. If you didn't already get that little breakout entry, that went by really quickly. TELL, and again over on SECO, it isn't happening, but you've got your risk entry on SECO for it to potentially happen. We are approaching breakout now on GFI, which consolidated near VWAP and is now doing high of day breakout. That is a trade, but you got to risk it to the bottom of the lowest point between those 2 points. That'll make total sense, if you take my classes. I hope everybody understands that. Let's see. Yeah. Do I want to trade GFI? I mean, I was managing my other position. I'm not really a firm believer in AI right now. But ooh, that is a green over red candle on the daily on GFI. It's just, you know, fiction above this $13 level. That is a trade entry technically. Consolidation at VWAP, higher highs, high of day breakout, risk to the uh, minimums is the last part of my prior question. Yeah, oh yeah, minimum. So Webull has no minimum, and neither does Cash App and Robin. All those places I mentioned have no minimums, but not to day trade, but to invest. I'm not sure if that's what you were asking, by the way. Oh, you've had a few symbols that were dogs and went bankrupt. Any advice on market cap in order to stay away from shit that goes bankrupt? It's a little bit less about market cap and a little bit more about choosing companies that have been around for more than 30 years. But that still won't get you, home free. But a company that's doing well, the chart's doing well, it's chugging along, and it's been in business for more than 30 years is considered proven. It doesn't mean it's reliable, okay? But it's the difference between an IPO or what they call a new company and a proven company. You're not an IPO anymore after 30 years. I mean, I know that's a long time, but they consider new companies are considered in the last 30 years. Obviously, us momentum traders, we like them to be even fresher than that. A couple months old, a couple years old, 12 years old, you know. The big investment bankers would tell you that, a company's still new if it's within the last 30 years. Well, that Wells Fargo trade is just going along so nicely. I'm going to take another little profit point out right here. Very small, 5% exit right now on this strength, which is looking just so beautiful. And I did not get an instant fill. So there we go. Actually, that was pretty quick fill. So the demand is still there. It's nice to feel it out a little bit like that sometimes. Yeah, so there's Tell. It's flying. It is now breaking out of the consolidation that it put in. So that'd be an entry right there with a stop at like 130. There you go. 5 cents of risk. It's at 135. Seco starting to break out of that area too. Remember, we were talking about risking that around 116, 114 to a stop of like 107-ish, whatever that is. What was I going to say? So it's kind of happening, kind of, on Seco, SECO. AMC with a nice consolidation. It's tightening up. It's about to break the high of the day. There it is. It broke the high of the day, and it's going to probably break the pre-market high of the day. AMC with some momentum there. We did have that on the bullish side of our pre-market analysis, but I do not have like a ton of hopes with that because there's really nothing special. It's like there was news a couple of days ago, and then today the news is that news is not news. That's the news. And so it's sort of like, all right, well, let's get back to where we were. And so that's kind of what's going on. And I think it is. Let me double check. Now it's not back where it was yet, but it's getting close to the bottom of the consolidation area of where it was, which would be 484. It's now at 467. So once it gets to 484, the party might be over. And it could even do that tomorrow. I mean, There's no guarantee that it's got 20 cents even left in it today. Good. It's AMC after all. And it could surpass those highs. Anything can happen. It's all about, getting in the ring. Do you think Mike Tyson's going to beat such and such? I mean, oh, wow. Wells Fargo just popped. Very nice. Definitely putting in an order to sell 5% more on that pop. Selling into strength, one of the best things you can do. Take a look at this Wells Fargo chart now. Be able to know yesterday that today could end up like that. It looks like nothing, but it's a base hit. And that's all you need every day is base hit. It's a base hit, guys. Yeah, let me show you over here. WFC. See? A nice base hit. Entered here. And the result is this nice base hit. And I just got that extra 5% exit. So that's looking good. And it looks like I'm at about 1.75 R on that. That's better than a base hit, frankly. Stop calling me Frank. Vorb having a tough time of it. It did get that neckline failure. Usually at the failure of the retest, we start to de-risk even before the neckline fails. Not great. It's a sign of a lack of progress. TEL going, it's about to break possibly pre-market high. When we started talking about it, entry was about 133, 134. Now at 135, 136, 137. Hey, it's moving. Seco now hitting 120, testing high of day. Still got to get up more if it's going to get over yesterday's high. Yvr pretty much failed out. You were able to exit. We talked about 25 cents, but yeah, it's there now. It's at 24.8 cents. Yvr. Now GFI is making a little bit of progress. You're only up about a quarter R if you risked to 1235 on that high of the day of WAP consolidation breakout. Yeah. Now at this point, you want to start to switch to finding gaps like that moving that are breaking their 10 a.m. high. GFI is one of them. So, and then you just get in that for that risk unit. Let that play out, and you can maybe bank another 1R. That's a midday trade, at this point. I wonder if anybody heard that. My wife sneezed so loud. It's with people who sneeze so loud and like repeatedly. I don't know why, but she has this thing. When she starts sneezing, it's just repeatedly. She's probably cooking. She probably spilled some pepper. RJ, that's you. Passed down from your dad. I mean, it's pre-orgasm levels. I think it's way too much. You sit there like you ever see the Never-Ending Story? You remember the giant turtle Gamora? I think was the name Gamora. Yeah, that's fucking RJ. Sneezes and the guy flies off, and then afterwards the eyes are all watery and you're disoriental. Oh God, what do we do? All right, everybody, let's move into the group from here. It's been great. Watch your positions, watch your risk. Let's continue trading from there. There goes Wells Fargo, still going, still moving. Heck of a beautiful day on Wells Fargo. Cool. Class tonight. That's right. Members class tonight. Make sure you grab a trial if you want to join the trading class tonight. Learn some stuff. It's a couple hours usually. Oh, yes, Randy said. I forgot. I was sneezing. All right. Was it? Dicks, pussies, and assholes. That's how we're going to end every episode.